welcome back to 405 Sports. We're going to start off with OSU basketball. Obviously, every segment we're going to start off with is OSU. So, first will be the basketball. We have 5-star Anthony Black, who is up and coming on his commitment to a school. OSU has an 87% chance at him, so there's a big chance there. And then 5-star or 4-star, depending on what you look at. Aiden Shaw has decommitted from Missouri. His first offer was OSU, and one of his best visits was OSU. So that is it for OSU men's basketball.
We'll look at Cowgirl Basketball now. We just today hired a new girls head coach, JC Hoyt. She's been coaching for a long time. She just came from Kansas City, and I think it'll be probably a pretty good thing for the program to try to get, I guess, back on the right track and see what we can do. See if she can kind of get some recruits in there and just see what she can do.
It'll be a good little reset. See what else.
See if
You coached in 12 years? Huh?
It's been a while.
Yeah,
But
it's been at least 10 or 11.
you never know. I mean, she could. I don't know. I'm not sure how good she was at Kansas City, but
It's always good to start fresh.
oh yeah, just kind of a reset. I feel like that's kind of doing the same thing we did with Mike Boyd after all this stuff that we had in the
Kick
past.
it back.
Getting a young coach is a good way to relate with the players, and that could honestly help you get some recruits. So.
Very true.
From what I read, she's a big, the players like her.
Big energy.
Hopefully, we can get some more fans in there too for home games and stuff. So.
Yeah. So the Ncaa finals for wrestling were this weekend. We had 2 wrestlers finish All-American. That was Dustin Plott and Dayton Fix. Fix ended up losing in the championship match to RBY from Penn State. They still can't do it, but
It's not a bad loss.
No, if you're gonna lose to somebody,
there's no shame in losing.
It's the number 1 seed. It's not like March Madness. Like,
No.
You're not gonna get,
no. There's no. Yeah. And then Plott finished 6th, which is a little higher than he was supposed to. So it was good for him.
You gotta take into the fact that he's wrestling dudes that are like 8-year seniors. They're old. They're bigger than him. He's a true sophomore.
Yeah.
So.
And he's wrestling dudes that are 25.
And he'll continue to get better.
Yeah. I mean, he just won the Big 12 as a sophomore, so.
Yeah.
we were fairly young this year too. I think.
Yeah.
Especially with, AJ's injuries.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you that's a national championship.
Yeah, pretty much.
All around, we had I won't say down. We had a down year. For our standards,
For
we had a
our
down year.
program, it's a down year. But
I think we finished 12.
Well, I think 14 around that range.
12, 14, somewhere in there.
Somewhere.
Which is not good for us, but other schools would love to finish.
Oh yeah, they'd love it.
Yeah, school would love to do what we do on an off year.
Yeah.
That was it for wrestling.
Alright, for OSU baseball, they went 5-0 this week. On Wednesday, they beat Dallas Baptist 5-4. And this weekend, they had a home series against Seton Hall, where they went 4-0. Winning all of them pretty handily, except today's game where Jake Thompson hit a 3-run shot to take the lead. And the softball team went 4-0 in the OSU Mizuno Classic. They beat Wichita State twice, and they beat Ncaa twice.
Someone threw a no-no, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Miranda Ellis, second. No,
Is she a transfer or is she a...
transfer from Texas.
Okay.
She is unbelievable.
She's not even in the A's, so
Oh, wow. Wow. That's crazy. Is that it for OSU sports?
That's it.
Okay. Now we'll kick it into baseball.
MLB free agency?
That's right.
Alright. There's been actually quite a lot of the big name people sign
right after the lockout.
right after.
Almost like they were already known what they were
Well,
going
yeah,
to do.
they all knew what they were
They
going
were
to do.
definitely talking.
Yeah, even though they weren't supposed to.
You had Correa sign. You had a bunch of people.
Story.
Yeah. Right before the lockout, though, Robbie Ray went to the Mariners. He won Cy Young last year. Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon went to the Rangers. It's a good pickup for them to see if they can finally get back on track. Scherzer with the Mets, Kevin Gausman with the Blue Jays, 2 big arms. Marcus Stroman with the Cubs, starting Marte with the Mets, and they're starting to be a threat there. And Thor went to the Angels.
Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, but that was all before the lockout. It was more.
I see.
More after the lockout, the first big thing was the Braves trading for Matt Olson, and that ultimately was like, well, what's going to end up happening with Freddie Freeman?
Well, you almost knew whenever they traded for Olsen that Freeman wasn't coming back.
And then at that point, it was just, where's he going I'm not too happy with.
No, I
I
really
feel like they're buying a championship.
Yeah,
But
that really sucks for the competitiveness, I think. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to get a championship, but that's pretty good. They're 1, 2, 3. It's really good.
Their 7, 8, 9 hole would be some teams.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Also depends on how Bellinger plays this year.
Well, yeah.
Is he playing?
If you get MVP Bellinger,
Yeah. Then. Whew.
you might as well give him a ring.
Yeah.
Nah, but
they're doing the same thing the Yankees are doing, but it hasn't worked out as well with the Yankees.
Yeah.
They could not.
At least the Dodgers can get.
they're doing it a lot better than the Yankees
It'd
did.
be pretty sad if it didn't work out.
Yeah, Dodgers can at least get to the championship, but.
And then after that, we got Jesse Winker and then Wiener Suarez go to the Mariners as well. So Mariners are now pushing to be a good team in the AL. Probably make the playoffs. Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber went to the Phillies. So now they just missed out on the playoffs last year. So
Their outfield's going to be
it's going to
disgusting.
be very, very good with Bryce Harper, who won MVP last year. And then just last night, figured out Trevor Story to the Red Sox. The day before, Carlos Correa to the Twins. And the big one is Seiya Suzuki. I hope I pronounced that right. He plays over in China, but he's never had like the rights to come over and play in MLB, and he finally got those rights. So the Cubs picked him up, and he's supposed to be really, really good. He's like 27 years old, and he's a stud.
Yeah. So, with the Red Sox, what do you think they'll do? Because they have, like, if you ask me, they have 2, like, top 3, top 5 shortstops.
They still have Devers.
So, like,
So
they
they'll play
can't
third.
move on to third.
I'm assuming Bogarts will play second. Either one of them can probably play second, but
Off the top of your head, who did they have as second base last year? 'Cause I can't think of it.
Was it?
it changes all the time.
Like, I thought they didn't have a very, well, I'm sure they have a good one, but not a very notable second baseman.
It's not Pedroia, is it?
No,
he's way
he retired like a couple.
Oh, okay. Golly.
I mean, that's not bad.
But, I mean, obviously, since we can't think of him, he's not.
I know Kike Hernandez played all over the place, and I want to say that he played second most of the time.
That would
but
make sense.
I'm not
So-
entirely sure.
Either one of them, Story or Bogarts, is a major upgrade there.
I think Christian Arroyo played a little bit. At second base last year.
that sounds right.
But I mean, they can play anywhere. I'm assuming they'll want to keep both of those dudes in the middle infield, and they'll continue to be good. Trevor Story's got a good bat. He's good in the field.
Yeah. He's not hit as many home runs. He's not Colorado anymore. But
Yeah, that's where Chris Bryant went, so he's gonna now start hitting some bombs.
oh yeah. Oh, any more for baseball? Any other big ones?
That's all the big ones. Jorge Soler went to the Marlins, and Kenley Jansen went to the Braves, but that's pretty much it on baseball.
All right. So now we will kick it into NFL right before we kick it into March Madness. We're actually going to start with your team, the Buffalo Bills. Key free agents they signed: O.J. Howard, Shaq Lawson, and Von Miller. What are your thoughts
I like them all. Don't exactly love the contracts we gave him,
for Von Miller? Yeah.
especially the Von Miller one.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Don't think he's playing all 6 years.
Yeah, and he's only $51 million guaranteed out of the 120.
Don't think he's playing all 6.
So that was actually a really good signing because think about it, 120 is the max, but he's only getting
he ain't getting-
$51 million
He
guaranteed.
ain't getting all of them.
So, well, those are the three key free agents I thought, but they still have a chance at Gronk apparently. So
Really?
they do, but I doubt it with OJ Howard signing. But a lot of people do like the fit, and you know,
I liked.
Yeah.
We worked on our O-line a tad. We got
yeah, you did work on your own line.
Roger Saffold, which is a huge upgrade because our guards kind of suck. No offense. They kind of suck.
And then you guys signed a center, Mitch Morse.
Yeah. We just re-signed him.
I'm not sure how good y'all's center was last year. Oh, you re-signed him.
It was Mitch Morse.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of do every team, but
Yeah,
not
of course.
much for most teams. So all I gotta say for the Miami Dolphins, they re-signed Emmanuel Ogbah, our guy from OSU, to a 4-year, $65 million deal.
I'll be honest. I thought he'd get a bigger deal than that.
That's still a huge deal. I mean,
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I thought some people were saying that was too much, and I thought that was perfect.
I think that's a perfect
I
deal.
think he's earned it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Him on the Chiefs for a little bit.
He wasn't Pro Bowl this year, was he?
I don't think so. I was going to talk about the Patriots, but they don't really have anything. The Jets, actually, they did a little bit of work. Uzdama, they picked him up. Laken Tomlinson to a $40 million deal. I thought it was $30. tenure each year, but it's not. Laken Tomlinson. I want to say he was on the 49ers, I think. If I'm not mistaken. But he was a really good guard. Or no, yeah, guard.
That's what I know.
Yeah. Jordan Whitehead. That was a good signing from the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And LaMarcus Joyner, he re-signed, which they thought they were going to lose him.
They needed a safety because their other safety left. Marcus.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get. I thought they were going to re-sign him or get Marcus Williams by chance, and they kind of would pair up maybe, but that didn't happen.
Do we think they'll stick with Zach Wilson?
Yeah, they went out and got him a blocking tight end. They got him a tackle and a guard. So
But he didn't play bad last year.
he didn't have a lot of
Struggled
time.
at the very beginning.
Yes.
He started
Yes.
to get a little bit better.
Both him and Trevor did. And
Yeah, but that would have worked out the rookie bumps.
yeah, and they might even. I don't know. I'd say they would take a receiver, but they could trade almost instead.
I don't know. Well, they don't have James and Crowder anymore, do they? I was gonna say they don't really need
I don't
a
think
receiver,
so.
but they do.
Um,
They did need a receiver.
yeah.
They got Elijah Moore and that's
Yeah, then they did get Tyler Conklin. I forgot about that one. It's not a bad little tight end.
Okay.
Next is the Ravens. Just the Marcus Williams deal. That's pretty good. And then they got Morgan Moses to protect Lamar. You know, give him a little bit more time instead of having to run every time. Now we're on to the Bengals.
Wait, didn't the Ravens get Zadarius Smith?
He
Yeah.
backed out of the deal.
So
You
he
got that?
signed, and then he said,
He saw Von Miller's deal.
and he said, I'm not going to do that.
He was only going to get $10 million a year.
Which I wonder
Okay.
if Zadarius would come back.
There's a chance of that. I mean, they re-signed Preston, so.
Are they actually brothers?
I'm pretty sure they are.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was a.
I think they are. But either way, I think there's a good chance he can re-sign there. I mean, I don't know, maybe with Devontae gone.
Do you guys have money to do
That's a
that?
good point. You just gave 2 linebackers $50 million for 5 years.
And you have a quarterback,
Yeah.
$50 million a year.
Oh, they don't have Devontae anymore.
Yeah.
We move on to the Bengals, though. What an offseason for them in terms of what they needed. What do they need? The O-line. Lele Collins, Alex Kappa. They're missing a guy. Oh, Ted Karras? I don't know that one. I don't know him. But they did get linemen for Joe Burrow.
They needed linemen.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
Hayden
know.
Hurst.
I don't know how
So they filled in that.
awesome those linemen are going to be.
Alex Kappa.
Well,
was
yeah,
a-
he's good.
He was a big lineman for Tom, and even Lele Collins, he was good for the Cowboys. But I mean, he wasn't. You
He's
know,
got to stay on the field.
he wasn't Zach Martin or Tyron Smith, but you know,
Yeah, he's got
he's
to
better than Connor Williams. So, and then Hayden Hurst to fill in the Uzama role.
I think Hayden Hurst is good.
That's a really good signing. And
Signed
then,
Eli Apple.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they did get Eli Apple, and they ended up franchise tagging Jesse Bates. So, and they signed Michael Thomas, defensive back.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like,
That's
oh my
interesting.
god, this
Did not know there was a Michael Thomas defensive back.
Yeah.
Now we move on to the Browns.
Big pickup.
Wow. We talked about Amari Cooper last time, obviously, and
Yeah.
what we said about that. We had our thoughts. Yeah, next chips. David Njoku,
They locked
franchise
him up.
tag.
Yeah,
Huh?
locked him up.
Yeah. And then they signed Jacoby Brissett. But they got Deshaun Watson. Thoughts on that?
It'll be interesting.
I'd like to see how he plays after not
all that.
for a
Yeah.
while.
I'm not sure if this is a true statement or not, but somebody said that the Browns said they needed an adult at quarterback. It's a little,
Yeah, it's kind of throwing shots at
Yeah.
your old QB. but-
That is.
Yeah.
and then they signed Deshaun Watson. But I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see how much they got for him, by the way?
Yeah.
The Texans, that is. The Texans
3
got-
first-round picks.
Oh yeah,
So they give up everything, hoping
Yeah.
that
They
Deshaun
better.
Watson's going to work.
I saw a guy saying that it's going to be a top 20 pick, and I was like, well, that's what you guys said whenever you got OBJ for Baker. We'll see about that.
I think 5-year, $230 million.
It's a little,
It's probably
little high
probably a
there.
little risky.
I mean, it's literally where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, what is it, 20? Oh, it's different now because Baker was there for, what, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 years, and he kind of filled that role.
He didn't do a great job.
But
They made
before
the
that,
playoffs.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
before that, it was like, what, 20-something quarterbacks in 18 years?
Do we know where Baker's going?
I think the Colts.
The Colts would be a good place.
And it's just the only
That's really the
logical.
only place you've seen.
Because they want to stick with Davis Mills and try to build around him. Apparently, Just-
they
just
don't
for the
have
time
Tyrod
being.
Anymore, do they?
no, Tyrod's on the Giants. We'll move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who did re-sign a quarterback. They re-signed Haskins, but then they ended up signing Mitchell Trubisky, and then they got him linemen. They got him 3 linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually do have a. They think that he can be a
Do we think that'll be Haskins starting or Trubisky?
Trubisky.
I think Haskins.
They gave Trubisky way too much money for him to not start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, $14 million. and then he can get up to 27
Is that like
incentive-wise. Yeah. So I bet if they make the playoffs.
Which they made a bunch of stuff on defense too, didn't they?
Yeah. Miles Jack. I thought Josh Allen signed there, but he did not. I was wrong. Or maybe he didn't sign. I don't know.
But 1 second.
It definitely was Miles Jack, and I was talking about Miles Jack. I was not thinking. Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely going out trying to keep the Steelers' reputation, alive. We move on to the Texans, who basically they just re-signed everyone almost.
Except their best defense.
Yes. But that's okay because I think in my opinion they're gonna go Kyle Hamilton at 3.
With 3.
Yeah. Just because I don't think there's a quarterback in this draft that they want.
And
That's just mine.
he's probably the best prospect in the draft.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. And
But
Davis Mills wasn't completely awful.
he wasn't awful, but if you compared his stats to Baker, he's pretty good.
Who's their quarterback?
Davis Mills.
Oh, okay.
Stanford.
I've never heard of him.
Well, he was like a 6th-round pick at Stanford.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So we move on to the Colts. They haven't done much. Mo Alley Cox resigned. We thought they might get Deshaun, but then we realized that this is the same division as the Texans, so that just doesn't make sense. Now we'll move on to the Jaguars, and wow,
They've made moves.
they have made moves.
Made moves.
Zay Jones getting 3 years, Christian Kirk getting 4 years, Evan Ingram a year. Then they franchise tag Cam Robinson, who was a big reason for Trevor Lawrence getting protected, and signed Brandon Scherf. Thoughts on that?
They got O-line.
That's what they needed.
Trying to help him.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, do they still have Marvin Jones on that big contract?
Yeah.
That is 2 huge receivers contracts.
See now,
Should not.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence should have somebody to throw to.
That's
He's
true.
gonna go up and get the ball.
That's true.
Well, they got out of DJ Chark's deal. So they probably
Yeah, that's true. And then their defense is going to get better with Foasan Aluakon and Darius Williams. And then I can't say the Jets guy. He's a defensive tackle. So they're feeling something. Doug Peterson, other coach. Yeah.
That'll be good too.
Yeah. The Titans, wow. Trading for Robert Woods, a 6th-round pick.
That's a steal.
That is a steal. And getting Austin Hooper. I forgot about that. So that's like a little target for Ryan Tannehill.
Check down.
Yeah.
You know, Tannehill loves his check downs.
Yeah, he does. He loves throwing it to the other team too.
He does.
Their biggest move is resigning Randy Bullock.
Yeah, that is. He's
Yeah.
he's got a good leg.
Yeah, you guys should love the kickers every now and then.
The Broncos. Broncos have had a amazing offseason. I'd say amazing. Sadly, they took Randy Gregory. As we know.
Yeah.
That one's tough. But it was a lot of money for the Cowboys, so it was kind of like,
You know what's gonna suck is the Broncos. I mean, they're good. But their division's so good.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna lose way more games than they should.
yeah. And obviously they get Russell Wilson, which is insane. Who saw that coming? So, and the other signing they had that I liked was Alex Singleton. He was on the Eagles. He led their team in tackles, and the Eagles have some really good defensive players, and he led their team in tackles.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Chiefs. They just re-signed the franchise tag Orlando Brown. Gave Frank Clark a new deal. Signed Juju and Justin Reed.
I don't know how they have enough money for that.
Yeah.
Well, they lose Tyrann Mathieu, so
Oh,
you know, yeah, he's not gonna come back. So Justin Reed kind of just fills in,
but
which I think Justin Reed's better.
I kind of do too. I thought the Badger was overrated.
He just doesn't get his.
He's good, but
He's
I
good.
know he was good, but I'm saying like people were saying he's possibly the best safety.
He's good, but Justin Reed it's tough for him because when the Texans cornerbacks are looking backwards and he's like,
that's true.
which one do I take? Because there's 3 guys running my
He was
way.
literally the only DB on that.
Exactly. So I think that's why Justin Reed doesn't get looked at as much. Move on to the Raiders. They do get Chandler Jones, who's going to be on the other side of Max Crosby.
Their D line's gonna be.
Yeah, that'll be crazy. And you want to say who else they got here?
Devontae Adams.
Right.
It's not good for Green Bay, but I don't know. We'll see. I think he'll still be good. He'll still be good. It'll be interesting to see how Carr and Adams work together. Because I think Adams will get missed eventually, but
Yeah,
But
they
they
went
played together.
Yeah, they went to college.
oh, did they really?
Yeah.
They went to Fresno State.
That's why it worked out.
So I think Derek Carr figured it out. But Devon, I mean, he won't have the same year because they have Darren Waller, and I don't know how much Hunter Renfro really matters, but
yeah.
He's gonna have a little bit.
Too. In Green Bay, it was DeMonte or
Nobody.
Yeah. Move on to the Chargers. Mike Williams, they re-signed. But their defense is where they got a lot better. Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. I mean, J.C. Jackson's going to have, what is it, 6 games? Yeah, 6 games with those guys where he's going to be playing, you know.
Tyreek Hill 1 week, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
And then Khalil, we talked about it. Khalil Mack is a beast.
Yeah, Khalil Mack next to
Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa. Yes. That is scary. Because Khalil Mack doesn't even have to be, like, at 100%.
I feel like he was kind of underlooked, too. Like, I think on the Bears, they're not successful. I just think.
I feel like he gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, we'll move on to the Cowboys. They haven't done as much as we thought they would, but they've done.
Just re-signed a bunch of people.
Yeah, we haven't done a terrible job. We re-signed Michael Gallup, signed OSU player, actually, James Washington.
that'll be good.
Yeah, franchise tag Dalton Schultz. DeMarcus Lawrence got a different deal, a restructured deal. And then we signed Dante Fowler, re-signed Leighton Vander Esch. Thoughts on that one, Zach?
I think Washington will be good because he can be that outside guy, say
Yeah.
deep ball.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup's to go up and get it, and
Right.
then CD's in the slot, tell him to run whatever route, and
Yeah.
he will probably get open because he's a good route runner.
Right.
I think you guys will have a good receiving core.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know
it'll
if
be
they'll
fine
do as
without
good as last
Amari.
year, but-
I don't know.
I'd love to see what Washington looks like with a QB that'll throw to him.
And that actually likes
true.
him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know that, but Ben Roethlisberger
Yeah,
did
he
not
got
like.
he
Yeah.
got so screwed.
He did not like James Washington.
Yeah, Bird, if he was here, he's a big Steelers fan, and he was definitely frustrated with how little they worked him in there because when he gets put in there and they throw it up to him, he makes highlight reel catches, and they're
Yeah.
like, he should obviously be used, but
I think
hopefully this
the,
works out for him.
I think the Cowboys will be.
I think we'll treat him right.
Yeah, I think they'll be exactly the same too. I think they had a good season last year, just a couple bad breaks.
Yeah, they just got to do something in the playoffs. If it doesn't work this year, Mike McCarthy's got to go.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm impressed he's still there.
That's part of the problem.
Get Sean Payton. And
It is. That's what I say. I
That's
mean,
part of the problem.
we'll skip over the Giants. The Eagles, they let Alex Singleton walk, but they do sign Hassan Riddick, which I think is a steal in my opinion. Yeah, 3 years, $45 million. So it's a steal.
just
What?
re-signed a bunch of people.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, which is kind of weird because Fletcher Cox he was at $18 million. They cut him and then signed him back to $14 million. Why just not restructured? I don't know.
They signed Tyrod Taylor, right?
The Giants did.
Who are we talking about?
The Eagles.
Eagles.
We skipped.
We skipped the Giants because they literally have
They
not.
have done nothing.
They've signed O lineman and Ricky Seals Jones.
My bad.
Hey.
Shout out to Ricky Seals. The Commanders have traded for Carson Wentz and re-signed J.D. McKissick. Thoughts on that one?
I mean, I don't know. I don't
Carson
really
Wentz
care.
gets to throw the Eagles again. So.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
that's right.
JD's good. I like him.
I did too. I was
He's a
actually
good receiver
really
back.
excited for him to be on the Bills.
I thought he was gonna be on the Bills.
I was really
I'm
excited for that.
Our running back, Singletary, did a lot better than I thought he was going to in the playoffs.
He did in the playoffs, yeah.
He did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Zach Moss has let me down. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Once again, I mean, you guys had a good season too. Just bad break. Everybody had a bad break except for the team that won.
Stupid coin toss.
Yeah.
Like
That's,
Bills should have won that game.
yeah.
But
Whatever happens.
The Bears, they haven't really done that much, in my opinion. I mean, Pringle, he went over there from the Chiefs, but nothing crazy. The Lions, they signed DJ Chark, give I about said Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff, just another little weapon there. Hopefully they can do something with him, because I actually liked him on the Jaguars.
Their
But
receiving core's not horrible.
no, I'm on St. Brown.
Amon-Ra,
Yeah.
him, Hawkins.
Yeah.
it'll be.
I actually like Hawkins Sox, huh?
No, he's on the.
Yeah, he's on the Jags.
Oh yeah.
They lost.
That's who flipped. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go with the Packers next. They obviously re-signed Aaron Rodgers, which in the last podcast we did not know.
Yeah, we said 4 years, $200 million. It's 3 years,
150.
150.
Yeah.
So that exact same thing, just a year less.
Yeah. Devondre Campbell re-signed. Preston Smith signed, and Russell Douglas, who was on 4 teams last year and then ended up being disgusting
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the Packers, which was crazy to see.
We signed a punter.
Yeah, Pat
Not a
O'Donnell.
punter. Borquez.
Paddle on?
No,
No, I had one.
we had one that was perfectly fine.
Oh.
And then we signed another punter.
That's yeah, Paddle
I mean,
on.
I don't.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
funny.
I just some of the things we do are interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what we do with those 2 picks.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how the offense looks with quite literally 2 weapons.
Yeah.
Just Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. Well, A.J. Dillon's good, but
Yeah.
They both played
So is
same
Tundra.
position, so it's
yeah,
hard.
I know. So,
I like Robert.
I mean,
Robert's
Robert's
alright.
kind of biased here, but Rodgers did things without Devontae.
Well, I know, I mean, but like, you can't throw it when they're not open.
I know.
The Vikings, we're almost done here, but the Vikings, all they did was re-sign Kirk Cousins. But they did steal Harrison Phillips from you guys, which I thought was actually a steal.
We've signed 15 D-line.
You guys have. I agree with that, but Harrison Phillips was
He was
young.
good, though.
He was good.
Nice. He was good.
I'm just gonna quick fire these ones. The Falcons, they just re-signed some guys and Cordell Patterson. The Panthers re-signed a bunch of guys. DJ Moore, that's a good contract. Dante Jackson, Xavier Woods.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
He's good.
He is good. The Saints have literally done absolutely nothing besides Marcus May.
Are we thinking?
They were hoping to get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So.
They were.
Are we thinking Winston or?
Winston.
Okay.
Taysom Hill's experience is done as
Well,
as
they
quarterback.
don't have Winston. He's a free agent.
I know, but he's planning on re-signing ever
Oh.
since
Okay.
Deshaun went to
I
the.
mean,
But they're done with
They can
Taysom.
draft somebody.
They could, but they're done.
Probably
They're
should.
done with the Taysom Hill experience at quarterback.
That's good.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they
Resign Brady.
they did re-sign Brady. Brady called up the Patriots and said, "Can you guys please let me have Shaq Thompson, please? I miss him." So they got him. Carlton Davis re-signed, and Logan Ryan switched to that. And then last conference is the NFC West. James Conner got a big deal. Zach Ertz got a big deal. Nothing crazy. Matthew
I
Stafford.
didn't know Colt McCoy was on their team.
Yeah,
He had to
he's
play a
still
little
there.
bit last year.
He
when
did.
Kyler Murray was hurt.
That's
They did not win very many games.
no.
He was
Thank
out.
no one to.
They're not going to be as good this year, I don't think. I think Chandler Jones was a huge reason they were good, in my opinion. But
He won him a couple games.
I
yeah,
don't know how good Cliff Kingsbury is.
that too. I think they just re-signed him, and I think they shouldn't. But the Los Angeles Rams, they re-signed Matthew Stafford to a bag and stole Allen Robinson in the way. So it's almost like
that's nuts.
let's
So
just-
they've almost gotten better.
They didn't really need Robert Wilson.
yeah, but I mean Robert Woods is gone, so we'll see how that
And
is.
Odell.
And Odell, he's definitely gone. I don't think he can. I don't think they have the space. The Niners have done nothing, and the Seahawks got Drew Lock.
With
No fan.
as well.
No fan. And that's about it. Quandre Diggs. That's another
Yeah,
one.
they're gonna be.
They've got to have a ton of money, right?
No.
No.
They got a little bit, but
Well,
nothing
that's-
crazy.
They're not gonna be able to make much more big moves.
I don't know who's want to go out there, but
Is DK's not on a rookie deal anymore, is he? Metcalf?
I think he is. That was last year.
They're trying to see where.
They have been shopping him.
I
Yeah.
think DK is going to be gone.
Yeah, but I bet they're wanting like a first round pick, and everyone's like, well,
What about Tyler Lockett? Is he staying?
they'll probably cut him before they might trade him, but
See, what's dumb is
I think Lockett's better.
Lockett's better.
I did too.
DK had 2 routes.
I did too, but
Slant and a fade.
I did
He
too, but
doesn't-
they
his
see
hands aren't insanely.
they see DK as like he's just gonna get better. Lockett's
That's true. I
that's
can
what.
see that.
Well, you know what you got with Lockett.
Yeah, but Lockett's also
Beat that kills people on posts.
yeah.
He's good in a return game if he wanted to.
Yeah. Dude, coming back on OSU.
Every single person from Kansas
That's
State
true.
takes him back on us. So Byron Pringle.
Oh, he's 29 actually, so I guess he's not that old.
Lockett?
Yeah, I thought he was like 33. So. Me and Colin would first like to apologize to St. Peter's. Actually, we forgot that one.
Yes, St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, Michigan, and Texas.
We all need to apologize to St. Peter's.
And
That's not bad.
Yeah, insert the clip here.
Boom.
Kentucky. I'm not gonna ask. What's our apologies. We did not believe in the Cinderella stories there. Obviously, Texas wasn't a Cinderella story, but Michigan technically kind of is because they're the 11th seed. St. Peter's definitely is because they're the 15th seed and they're in the Sweet 16.
I talked a lot of trash on Michigan A lot of trash on Iowa State.
Yep.
A lot of trash on Texas.
I tried to tell you for Texas, man.
They proved me wrong.
Big 12.
They proved me wrong.
I did.
Big 12's pretty for real.
I knew, because last podcast I was talking about how I was going to pick every Big 12 team to move on. I didn't actually think that was going to happen, but I thought I had a good chance.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of proving a point that we're the best basketball conference.
And even when we lose, I mean, Texas will be a big loss in basketball, but OU's not.
No,
A crazy
we're
loss.
getting
And we're getting a dominant.
BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
Houston's probably going to go pretty
Oh,
far.
yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati's usually decent.
They're having a bad year, but they're normally.
Yeah,
They're-
last year,
they're
the year
normally
before
15.
last.
They're-
Do they still have that coach? I don't know. Is that even? Yeah, I don't even
I don't know anything about them.
I don't know, but they're usually like deep. They usually make the tournament.
Yeah.
And then
I think BYU's on the edge. And maybe
BYU was close.
Mhm.
UCF doesn't have a great basketball program.
they'll be one to. I mean, you can't breathe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You won't be able to breathe against any of them.
Yeah. And I just think Tech and Baylor are just gonna get so much better. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah, but
Kansas
Kansas,
is always
Kansas,
Kansas is
you know, Baylor could easily just whoop, and so could Texas Tech. But Kansas,
Texas and OU leaving Houston makes up for that by
Yeah.
10 times.
yeah,
Because Texas is only good every once in a while.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and they're never back.
What do we think K-State's going to do with the head coach?
I don't know.
They haven't got a new one yet, have they?
No.
No, but that's a great question.
Who are they looking at?
No
I
way.
say I think they'll be better. Believe
With
it
a
or
different
not.
head coach?
Yeah. I think Bruce.
Maybe not that first year, but
Yeah, I think Bruce.
Could you
Butler
give him
was-
I mean, any coach.
Tough. I
I
bet
could give him a couple years.
Pack is gone. I bet.
I think Bruce Butler was done well
they got
past.
Powell, Arnello,
Yeah.
and then is McGraw gone?
He's a senior, I think.
They got Mark Smith.
He's also
They better hope they've got some recruits coming in and they could have a couple.
I'll be honest, I think their whole team's pretty much done.
Couple of coaching rumors that Kansas State's hearing is Jerome Tang, which is one of the Baylor assistants, I'm pretty sure, and then Brad Underwood.
Yeah. Which would be insane.
Yeah.
He'd get booed here, that's for sure.
Oh,
I think that crowd would be packed.
Yes.
If he were to go.
that almost, it wouldn't be as bad, but it'd be kind of like Chris Beard, Texas Tech situation.
Yeah.
It would, but I think Texas Tech would be a little bit better than we would in terms of
Oh yeah.
bringing
Well,
in.
yeah,
yeah,
they're probably a little
That's
more
that.
angry.
I'm just kind of that
yeah,
traitor.
yeah.
He
The
left
vibe.
the next day after losing in the tournament.
Yeah. I don't think it would have mattered if we'd have won.
I will say though,
Obviously not.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm okay with Brad leaving at this point because we got Cade and now.
I think I am okay.
I am,
Well,
but at the same time we still
Based on
have.
his track record in the tournament, I'm not sure we wanted him.
Yeah, they got a ban from making it to the Sweet 16.
I don't care who they have.
It don't matter what they put on him.
Yeah.
They gonna,
They're gonna kick
if he
themselves.
comes back to K State, I hope he does. To be honest, because
I hope he does, and then he goes 0-18 in the Big 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so here is the NCAA tournament bracket. Obviously, we do have our own bracket here that probably wasn't the greatest since we didn't pick many upsets.
It was
Our top bracket doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look awful, but then you look at Tennessee, and obviously you go down here and it looks awful. It looks.
Which I'm sure everyone's does
Yeah,
for the Kentucky.
yeah.
But
Uh,
other than that,
Correct me if I'm wrong. There was 700 correct brackets going into day two. Perfect,
I think around there.
something like that. In terms of ESPN's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was
Um,
0 after day 2.
Yeah, there was none. So, we'll go ahead and get it started. Gonzaga moving on to Sweet 16, but with a tough win over Memphis.
I was shocked. I think
If you
I thought Memphis was gonna
If
win.
you watch that game, I think Memphis would have had it, but they got into such bad foul trouble
Yeah.
that they just
They had to take the big dudes out and play small.
Yeah.
And it killed them. That's when Timmy started.
they had to play with their either third or fourth string center, which is
Mhm.
never good when Drew Timmy and Chet Holmgren are down there.
Yeah. Jalen just didn't really show up.
It was,
No, Jalen had a really bad
it's
game.
pretty much a home game.
Yeah.
It also was a home game for Gonzaga. So.
And
Tough
Chet
environment.
Chet didn't have a good game either, really,
No.
compared to his first game. But obviously
Right.
Memphis is tougher. We'd love to see Imani Bates get in. Hopefully next year he can actually take over.
I love him.
He's not going to be a 17-year-old kid coming in on his
he was
first
on
day.
minute restrictions. So he
Yeah.
Yeah, he was only allowed to play.
Yeah, so hopefully we get to see him next year just flawless and a great player.
He needs to. He's obviously we all know he's a wonderful player. He doesn't play
Team
well.
basketball.
Yeah, he doesn't play team basketball.
The problem with him is he didn't go. I think he should have went to a Montverde, an IMG, something like that, because he was on a terrible high school team.
There's a couple of high schools that are not gonna have that same issue.
They would play like amazing teams and get blown out, and I'd be like, man, you got to go somewhere where you can be a teammate of someone. Like do what Cade did.
Because when he doesn't have the ball, he looks awful.
Yeah, he's like James Harden. He just doesn't have off ball.
He doesn't move.
Yeah.
He just sits there.
Yeah, but we do love Imani Bates. I do think he'll make the NBA.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's just tough because we're talking about a 17-year-old kid walking into college and playing against 22-year-old guys.
Well, especially last night. That was his first game he actually played. I know he played
Georgia State.
Yeah, but that's.
But he didn't actually play.
Yeah, so we already talked about Memphis basically. That was a good game though, Boise State and Memphis. That was a good one we watched.
Yeah, they came back.
Teddy Allen, wow, he might transfer. I know he's going into his senior year. He had his year at West Virginia where he did nothing. His years at Nebraska didn't really do much, but this year at New Mexico State was definitely a way to show that he's able to play Power 5 basketball.
I wonder if that coach will go anywhere.
Yeah, but then he didn't show up really against Arkansas.
At the end of the UConn game, did you see how he presented himself?
Yeah,
he's pretty cocky.
I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah,
I was gonna
get his
say,
name out there.
How do you guys feel about that? Like that kind of basketball?
It's kind of PR in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that at all, but it's whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I'm okay with him going to his crowd and trying to hype them up, but when he was saying deuces to the UConn bench,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean,
That part's a little far.
yeah.
And even I like that. I like when Marshall Henderson was on Ole Miss. I
I
love that.
it when you hype up your team,
Yeah.
up your fans. But
Yeah.
there's no point in talking to.
The other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a good example of that was like Mac McClung. He didn't talk a lot of crap, but he got the crowd hyped.
Right.
For sure.
He definitely whooped OSU when he was at Georgetown.
That's exactly. He made that reverse and he flexed our crowd.
Yeah.
And that's fine with me, man.
Yeah.
That was cold.
I mean, when I heard he was going to Texas Tech, I remember having like PTSD. It's like flashbacks.
Same with Kevin O'Banner.
Yeah.
Bad deal.
Yeah, bad deal there. Arkansas just scraped by Vermont, which you had in the Sweet 16.
I think Vermont played really well.
Yeah.
Arkansas played a little better.
Shout out to Vermont.
Shout out to
I
Vermont.
don't,
Which
think, I don't think Arkansas can beat Gonzaga.
I don't either, but that is my pick. But you know,
I think it'll be.
You never know, man.
I think it'll be a close.
we don't know we don't ever know what Arkansas is showing up. That's my
They
thing.
either come out and they look just unbelievable, or they look so bad.
Yeah.
Some of the calls on the Arkansas Vermont game, and even New Mexico State, I think Arkansas gets pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I just watch and I'm like, that's not a foul.
Yeah.
But that you could say that with every team.
Which
but-
JT Notre, he fouled out on 4 charges in his second half,
Which
which
is-
that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Texas State are currently playing right now. We actually are streaming it right behind the setup. It is 49-47 with 4 minutes left. So by the end of this podcast, we will have the winner of that game. So we can get talking to that. They didn't have any problems. Really, Notre Dame game just looks closer than it actually was. But, you know, Texas Tech rolled
Notre
North State.
Dame really surprised me. I didn't think they'd make that playing game.
I thought Rutgers was going to beat them. They should have. Well, they should have beat them, but it was a good game.
It was.
Yeah.
Michigan State and Duke played. They didn't really have. Well, Michigan State did. They were going to win, and then Davidson just started full court pressing them, and they actually
We had issues with that press.
they did. I mean,
Issues.
they got that 3 at the end, and everyone was like, "Wow!" And then they got that. Oh, what did they call a foul on that guy when he stole it from him? Do y'all remember that at the end of the game?
I didn't even know it was that close a game.
Dude, this guy he tipped it out of his hands, and they called a foul at the end, and that put them up by 3. I know, by 4 with the free throws, and yeah. And then Michigan State and Duke played today. We just watched that one, so
It was a nail biter.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Score doesn't show.
Yeah.
Score doesn't show,
It wasn't. It was closer than I.
You know, free throws for Duke, missed baskets for Michigan State at the very end. Baylor and North Carolina roll their 2 opponents, and then North Carolina beats Baylor. Thoughts on that?
They looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady Manick looked
I
very
think
solid.
that game doesn't need to overtime if Brady Manick plays all game.
Yeah. Kind of crazy to think they came back from 25.
Yeah, 25 with 10 minutes left is.
That's
Brady
insane.
was torching them.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. UCLA torched St. Mary's.
And Jaime, however you pronounce it, he got hurt at the end of that one. So
Yeah.
if he's not good,
If he's not
to go,
playing,
that's not,
yeah,
that's
that's
not a
not
good
good.
sign for them.
No, they were good.
And like we said, apologies to Texas. We do apologize.
Yeah, that was
We
my
owe
bad.
an apology to Spears
Gary.
over here.
I still don't like Texas, but I thought they were gonna win.
Predictions on this one?
I have no. Okay. I'm gonna talk about Texas again. Zach Edey's got to have.
No,
like
you.
4.
I was gonna say
Right.
Zach Edey. They're gonna struggle.
Texas game's my guy to try to see if they can get him in foul trouble.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, their other center is just as good. Brandon,
Yeah.
I think his name's Brandon
I think
Williams.
he's number 50. Yeah.
He's just as Trayvon Williams. He's just as good. He's like
It's nice. 7 foot.
yeah, he's not 7'4",
Yeah.
but I think those two are gonna give Timmy Allen problems.
But, I mean, the Big 12's for real, so it'll
Very
probably be
true.
close.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game.
If
Texas has arguably one of the best defenses. in the
If
country.
Texas shoots the 3 like they did against Virginia Tech,
Andrew Jones, yeah.
it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. And Jaden Ivey, if he can, keep playing what he plays.
Jay Ivey, he is an NBA player playing for a college team.
And I didn't think Timmy Allen played that well against Virginia
He
Tech.
did.
No.
Purdue's defense is not. It's not that good.
No, it's not.
Jaden Ivey might have a tough night with Marcus Carr, in my opinion. St. Peter's gets a win over Murray State,
They look
which
good.
they have looked good.
Never trailed. St. Peter's never
Their
trailed.
defense looks suffocating.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Crazy
like their
thing.
coach though. I thought I would, but
He's a little.
Well,
His
they're
voice-
winning.
His voice is
yeah, the voice.
The
of
voice
it
is amazing.
You gotta be a little more excited. I mean, I get.
Yeah.
having
He's just
respect
trying to
for
stay
yourself.
locked in.
Yeah.
He's not trying to look.
Yeah.
Currently,
Currently,
with Musselman going crazy.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, I saw that. That was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm just showing our games that we had predicted. Obviously, we weren't great. I would have took UNC there. That's just how I don't my bracket, but
Yeah, I did not see that.
We'll make up for it later.
yeah, we will. This is what we had, and like we said, apologies to St. Peter's from all of us.
Yeah.
We can insert the clip again if we want to. Boom. And now we'll just get over to the other side of the bracket. We'll start up top. Arizona, we had that one as a lock.
Wright State did.
They did give them a little trouble.
They
didn't they?
shocked me.
They
did.
kept it close.
I think TCU will give them fits. 'Cause
I do
their
too.
defense and their length, man.
Yeah, they might be a bad matchup for them.
TCU's offense scares me.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If my mom has a
Do
bad
we
day,
know
Yeah.
Arizona's coach? Do we know him? His coach? Or their coach of Arizona?
I should.
I'm blanking.
I am too. I
Either
am.
way, I don't like Jimmy Dixon at all, but I think he's a better coach.
Yeah. I mean, their old coach just went to Xavier.
Tommy
Sean Miller.
Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Lloyd's pretty good.
I was like, Tommy Lloyd's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
Oh, yes.
We'll see.
He was a Gonzaga assistant, right?
He's an assistant 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just don't watch Pac-12 basketball enough to like.
No, so they don't go through the grinder as much as TCU did.
Yeah.
So.
TCU definitely has hard fought wins and.
Yeah, you can see TCU beat Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can beat good teams.
Because of their length. So if you're a team that doesn't have much length, they're going to give you
Yeah.
fits.
Beat us twice.
They're also like, if they're not the best, they're one of the
Year
best
before.
offensive.
They went 1-1 this year.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess there's something winning down there.
We won here.
Yeah.
We had a huge
No.
comeback.
Did they? Yeah, we did win here.
Yeah. Remember?
Because number 4 was like, yeah, you're right. Man.
Mhm. Big boy.
And number 4 was like waving us goodbye, and then we came back. Yeah. And he was running out with the towel over his head.
Yeah.
Bad day. Bad day.
Hey. Just kidding. Houston gets the win over Illinois, which honestly was that shocking to anyone here?
Houston does not look like a 5 seed. They look
Yeah.
like a 2 seed.
Yeah,
Shocking to me.
crazy.
Injuries. too.
Yeah. 2 of their players that average double figures are out right now.
They look ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Illinois maybe has more talent, but Kelvin Sampson is really good.
I don't know. Could be
Shit.
Coburn just overrated in my opinion.
Small Shed. Tyler Edwards.
Which
Fabian White.
Yeah.
those 2 dudes injured combined for 30.
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
Brett was clearly not a very good coach.
Yeah. Good thing he left here. Michigan gets the win over Tennessee.
Yikes.
Any thoughts here?
Sorry, Michigan.
Bad matchup for Tennessee.
Yeah. Villanova, that was a good game today if anyone watched that one. Over Ohio
They
State.
were way up there, and then Ohio State made a push.
Yeah, Ohio State did make a little comeback there. Creighton gave trouble to Kansas.
Yeah, that's scary.
I was. As someone that has Kansas in their Final Four.
I have the national championship. So,
Yeah.
They showed if Obachi and like Chris Braun, they aren't playing good, then they are not a great team.
Remy Martin needs to start.
Yeah,
That's
there.
true. I mean, there's a reason he was the number 1 transfer in the
He
nation.
just
last year.
facilitates so well. He doesn't need to score.
No,
but he did. yesterday.
When they beat us, he didn't even score at all. He just had like assists.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players where if he makes one,
He's gonna heat up.
sees everything going.
Yeah. Providence gets the win over Richmond. Nothing really shocker there.
I'm super excited.
Shocker,
Yeah.
Richmond over Iowa. I was shocked.
Yeah, that was very shocking. As people that you had them in your elite
Elite
Final Four.
Final Four was you.
Final Four.
Final Four. Yeah.
Gave me issues.
Yeah. So that one was a crazy one, as Bird did take Richmond over Iowa.
Yeah, he picked that. He picked that correct.
He had Richmond beating
He had
Providence.
Richmond beating Providence,
But
which
even to pick Richmond over Iowa,
Yeah, he had picked. Yeah.
really good.
Iowa State's currently playing right now, and so is Miami and Auburn, so we don't know that one if anyone can get that.
I would say one.
Iowa State win.
Oh, I did know that. I don't know why I thought about that. Do we know the score of the Miami Auburn
I
game?
think it's
32-30
At half.
halftime. Miami
Okay.
won.
So nothing crazy here. Well, after that, because that's all we have. But here was our national champion who lost in the round of 32.
Didn't even play bad.
No.
No.
Hunter Dixon is a bad matchup.
That is. With,
Chandler played probably one of his better games of the year.
yeah, I felt bad for him because he was crying on Jawan. I was like, man, that guy.
Santiago Vescovi.
He was very-
He was in a snuggie the whole game.
He was, and he was very mad all game. I don't know if you guys.
We're not gonna let him score.
Yeah, they were fouling the crap out of him.
Yeah.
So,
That go back to the Miami USC. Another thing where I don't know what the referees are doing. I'm getting really mad at the referees this year.
yeah, which we did pick
Did
USC.
you see the technical in the Illinois game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He dunked on the rim and he swung because his momentum was bringing forward, so he swung so he landed on his feet and they called technical.
Yeah, because hanging.
So,
But he wasn't.
But if he let go of the rim, he would have fell on his head.
But yeah, the referees have been.
and that one, I did have USC going pretty far. That's why I'm not happy about it. But that one play didn't make the game. I just think it's frustrating when
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah. There is some times where the refs make the game. So.
I don't think there's been a game that I've watched in the tournament that I've fully agreed with the referees.
Yeah.
But you're never going to.
There's come a lot of fouls. So, a lot of bad stuff. So we did decide to pick up the podcast just for a final little segment. Notre Dame loses to Texas Tech in a close game, but Texas Tech picks up the win.
They're going to play a really good Duke team
Yeah.
now. So I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, that's 3 shocking games for Notre Dame.
Right.
Rutgers win, Alabama win.
Yeah.
I did think whoever beat or
Rutgers.
who came out of the Notre Dame
Yeah.
Rutgers game was going to beat Alabama. I didn't pick them, but I
Yeah.
still thought that. And then Notre Dame played Texas Tech really good.
Yeah.
They play really
Yeah, and it just proves our point about the Big 12.
Still better.
In other news, Kansas State does end up going after Jerome Tang, that is Baylor's assistant coach. It was down to him, or I believe Brad Underwood, and they found their guy. See if they can rebuild or keep some of those guys that are within the program and see what he has to bring.
I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously at Baylor for a reason,
Yeah.
which is also shocking because we talked about it earlier in the podcast, and then,
And he has that Big 12 experience, so
Yeah.
it's not a super new environment.
I mean, watching Scott Drew coach for years has got to help you.
I think that is it for the podcast. All right. This was 405 Sports. Don't forget to comment down below what you want to see next. Like and subscribe on the video. Like I said, we've been 405 Sports. We're out. Peace.